Hello, hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. How are you today? How is your summer holiday? How is your summer vacation? What are you doing? Can you type in the chat box? What are your plans? What are your plans for a long weekend? So can you type in the chat box, what are your plans for the long weekend? For example, I'm going to chill out and I'm going um, to have some rest from this scalding sun and scorching heat, which is now. Can you write in the chat box how do you deal with this heat now? Because for me it's a secret how people can survive during such heat. So can you please participate? We'll be grateful for your participation. Okay, nobody is here in the chat box. Right. So I'm waiting for your secrets of how to manage and how to survive during such heat. And when you are done, please let me know in the chat box. I'm waiting for your secrets because maybe I will use and apply some of them during my summer heat. Good. And today, today's topic of the webinar is stress, and especially how to manage our stress. So pencil in the agenda for today. We are going to have a little bit of the discussion with you about stress. After that, we are going to look at the nature of stress and evolution. After that, we will talk about stress resistance and the secrets of stress resistance, of being stress resistant, how to make stress your friend. So some positive sides of stress, and meditation for stress management. Especially, I'm going to talk about my own way of meditating during stress or during being stressed. Okay. So speaking about you, just let me know what you're writing here. Okay, nothing. So speaking about you, what is stress for you? What is what's your definition for stress? What is the feeling of being stressed for you? So for example, for me, stress is a feeling of anxiety when I feel nervous, when I don't know what to do, and when I really don't know how to deal with it. So when something happened, so for me it's a state of anxiety when I feel not safe, I feel not relaxed, kind of anxious about everything. What about you? Do you get stressed easily? Speaking about me, I get stressed. Not. I shouldn't say that I get stressed easily, but somehow, for me, when I think that I'm not stressed, I feel that I'm stressed. So my body somehow sends me signals that that I'm stressed. that I feel not calm, I'm not relaxed. That's why sometimes I think that I don't get stressed easily, but that's not true. I get stressed really easily because my body reacts very quickly to the stress situations. And when I don't feel that I'm stressed, when I don't think that I'm stressed, I'm actually stressed. So that's my point. Kind of my own stress feeling. Good. What circumstances stress you the most? For example, can you type in the chat box, well, what stresses you the most? As for me, the most stressful stuff is when my close people, close surroundings, some friends, when they are offended because of me, or were have been offended because of me, and they have a bad mood. They don't speak with me as usual, and I feel that. And when I want to iron things down, it's not that easy. It's not so easy to do. That's why when I'm with this person who is offended, who doesn't want to talk with me, I feel really stressed. When kind of the person feels disappointed, the person feels uh, the person feels offended, and I want to solve the problem. I want to um, get in to get on well with the person, but he doesn't want because he feels offended. And for me, it's the worst situation ever. I usually feel so much stress during that time that I couldn't find the way out. It seems to me that now it's like a counseling session that, that I talk about my problems. I talk about um, the feeling when I usually feel stressed. Okay, good. You can share your thoughts with me when you usually get stressed in which situations. So kind of like that. Good. So are you stressed about anything now? And what is it? Why does it make you feel stressed? So can you type in the chat box? Yeah, now it's for me, for example, now it's summer and I decreased my workload, I reduced my workload. That's why I feel not so stressed as I felt before. And speaking about you, maybe you had some exams, maybe you had some tests, finals, and you felt really stressed before summer. But now you don't feel so much stress. But still, we're humans and we can feel stressed. So can you please write in the chat box what is the stress fact? Do you feel stressed now? About what? What's that? Yeah, and why does it make you feel stressed? For example, now I'm not so stressed. I feel I'm not really so stressed about anything. I feel stressed because of my deadline sometimes. I feel stressed because because I have not enough time to meet the deadline. For me, it's the worst thing ever when I miss the deadline. So I feel that I don't have time. I have to hurry up. I have to pull myself together, but I understand that it's not possible to complete so much work in in so small time slot. That's why, and that's the only problem that I really feel feel stressed right now. Because of the deadlines, because of the time that is not enough to complete this deadline. And sometimes I feel that I'm a perfectionist and I need to do everything well, and I understand that the time. Oh, hello, Margarita, Veronica, hello. Right. Yeah. So this is the major stress for me right now during my work time, during everything. For me, two major stress factors, two major stress causes. That's time and deadlines, and when my surrounding close people are offended. So, if we speak about stress itself, let's have a look. Stress can be defined as any type of change that causes physical, emotional, or psychological strain. Stress is your body's response to anything that requires attention or action. So it's your so the best definition for this one is that stress is your response to some change, and stress for example, causes the body to think that if something changed around the body, that's why body has to adapt to the change. So the body needs also some change, and it causes stress. Yeah, it's like collapses together, this change, and stress appears. Everyone experiences stress to some degree. The way you respond to stress, however, makes a big difference to your overall well-being. Sometimes the best way to manage your stress involves changing your situation. At other times, the best strategy involves changing the way you respond to this situation. Yeah. So changing your reaction, your response to some kind of change. So developing a clear understanding of how stress impacts your physical and mental health is important. It's also important to recognize how your mental and physical health affects your stress level. So, what do you think are the signs of stress? What are the signs of stress? Can you type in the chat box, or what? But usually I get about time. Yeah, Veronica, I understand you. Will I have enough time to do something? Yeah, right. So what are the signs of stress? Stress can be, so if we define stress, it can be short-term stress and long-term stress. Both lead to a variety of symptoms, but chronic stress can take a serious toll on the body over time and have long-lasting health effects. So chronic stress, long-term stress, is not always, it's not good for you and not for your health. So some common signs of stress include change in mood, clammy or sweaty palms, decreased hormone abilities of your body, diarrhea, difficulty sleeping, digestive problems, dizziness, feeling anxious, frequent sickness, grinding teeth, all the time, grinding teeth, headaches, splitting headaches, low energy level, muscle tension, especially in the neck and shoulders, because you want to feel relaxed, and so you put this one, and you have a muscle strain here and here. So the thing is not very good. Okay, physical aches and pains, raising heartbeat, increased heartbeat, high pressure of your blood pressure, and trembling all the time. So these are the most common signs, or these are the most common insignias of stress. Okay. So if we identify stress, adrenaline, yeah, well, yeah, well done. Good. Identifying stress. So stress is not always easy to recognize, but there are some ways to identify some signs that you might be experiencing too much pressure. Sometimes stress can come from an obvious source, but sometimes even small daily stresses from work, school, family, and friends can take a toll on your mind and body. Sometimes kind of like trivial stuff and minutiae of life can make you feel stressed. That's why stress sometimes is hard to identify. It's difficult to identify because sometimes it's some kind of very small stuff, but very difficult to identify, to notice. If you think stress might be affecting you, there are a few things that you can watch for. So, um, psychological signs. Psychological signs of stress are difficulty concentrating, worrying, anxiety, and trouble remembering, a bad memory. So these are the psychological signs. If you have a look at some emotional signs, there can be being angry, being irritated, being moody, and being frustrated. So these are the emotional signs. If we speak about physical signs, they are much severer. Because if you experience physical signs, it means that your stress intoxicated your body, and your body responds in a responds in such a way that you can hear and you can see how the body feels. The body wants to change. Yeah, the body wants a change in the state, in its condition. So the physical signs are high blood pressure, changes in weight, gaining or losing weight, frequent colds or infections, yeah, a very weak immune system, and changes in the hormonal stuff. Yeah, in women's it's periods, men's experiences some decreasing of libido level. So kind of like this. These are the physical signs of stress. If we have a look at the behavior, the behavioral signs can be poor self-care, not having time for the things you enjoy, or relying on drugs and alcohol to cope. Yeah. If you experience too much stress, for example, I always notice that I experience a huge stress when I don't have time for my favorite hobbies, when I can't go to the gym, when I can't do something that I like, when I can't chill out with my friends because I have too much work, and it creates additional stress. Because I feel guilty, I feel that I don't satisfy my needs. I feel that I don't have time for living after all. And it makes me it makes me really stressed out. That's what I wanted to say. Okay. So what are the causes of stress? So what stress is attributed to? Can you type in the chat box what stress is attributed to, or simply the causes of stress? Type in the chat box, please. Well done. Okay. Cool. So there are many different things in life that can cause stress. Some of the main sources of stress include work, finances, relationships, parenting, and day-to-day inconveniences or some trivial problems that usually pile up. And we have one major stress cause. Yeah. Stress, if we talk about stress, can trigger the body's response to a perceived threat or danger. It is known as a fight or flight response. Yeah, so if you feel danger, your body feels that it has to run away in order to avoid this danger. Fight or flight. It was expressed by Walter Cannon in his research about stress. So during this reaction, certain hormones like adrenaline and cortisol are released. This speeds the heart rate, slows digestion, shunts body flow to major muscle groups, and changes various other autonomic nervous functions, giving the body a burst of energy and stress. It was originally named for the ability to enable us to physically fight or run away from faced with danger. The fight or flight response is now activated in situations where neither response is appropriate, like in traffic or during a stressful day at work. Yeah, so now it's not so, it's like the result of our evolution, this fight or flight response, and it's no longer needed. Maybe it's needed when you really fight or when you have a real danger. But actually in our daily routine, it's activated, but it's no longer needed in our daily routine. That's why it's fight or flight response. Yeah. I wanted to stop a little bit at cortisol and adrenaline. As you know, these are chemicals. These are the major chemicals that are produced because of stress, because of a major stress. And when they are produced, your body, of course, you feel strength, you feel power, energy, but if you have it all the time, these chemicals are released all the time. You don't need them all the time, and that's why it begins intoxicating your body. Your body gets intoxicated because of these chemicals. So it influences your physical abilities, physical functions of your body, and you can see the stress kind of how your stress is released with the help of these physical abilities. So kind of it's not a very good way to function after all. When how this fight or flight response functions. When the perceived threat is gone, systems are designed to return to normal function via the relaxation response. But in cases of chronic stress, the relaxation response doesn't occur often enough, and being in a near constant state of fight or flight can cause damage to the body, as I said before. Stress can also lead to some unhealthy habits that have a negative impact on your health. For example, many people cope with stress by eating too much, by smoking, drinking alcohol, by drug abuse. These unhealthy habits damage the body and create bigger problems in the long term. So apart from the stress that causes a lot of problems to you, the bad habits that you try to cope with the stress also cause massive problems. Yeah, that's it. So if we speak about the types of stress, there are several types of stress. Not all types of stress are harmful or even negative. Some of the different types of stress that you might experience include acute stress. Acute, it means short. So it's a very short-term type of stress that can either be positive or more distressing. This is the type of stress we most often encounter in day-to-day life. Speaking about chronic stress, chronic stress is stress that seems never ending and inescapable. Like the stress of a bad marriage or an extremely taxing job that you always experience this bad situation. Chronic stress can also stem from traumatic experiences and childhood trauma. Yeah, so you had some trauma in the childhood, and whenever you are exposed to this situation, you are experiencing chronic stress. It's like always shadows you, yeah, always in the back. There can be also episodic acute stress. Episodic acute stress is acute stress that seems to run rampant and be a way of life, creating a life of ongoing distress. Also, when you have some kind of small stress, a fear of light or a fear of height or something. So when you experience this one, it's all the time, it follows you, but it's not so bad. We usually have millions of them during our life. And we also have eustress. Eustress stems from euphoria, and eustress is fun and exciting. It's known as a positive type of stress that can keep you energized. It's associated with surges of adrenaline, such as when you are skiing or racing to meet a deadline. So eustress is kind of the stress, the shot of adrenaline that you have when you do something positive and fun. So this is eustress. Okay, good. And speaking about impact of stress, so what results? We have talked about causes. So what are the results and what can be the effects of our stress at school? But now it's somehow, so there is little stress now. Okay, yeah, Margarita, well done. Fine. So what are the impact of stress? The connection between your mind and body is apparent when you examine the impact of stress has on your life. Feeling stressed out over a relationship, money, or your living situation can create physical health issues. The inverse is also true. Health problems, whether you are dealing with high blood pressure or you have diabetes, will also affect your stress level and your mental health. When your brain experiences high degrees of stress, your body reacts accordingly. So when you have some health problem, it creates more stress and you have more health problems. So it's a theorem which is kind of never-ending theorem, everlasting. Serious acute stress, like being involved in a natural disaster or getting into a verbal altercation, can trigger heart attacks, heart strokes, arrhythmias, and even sudden death. However, this happens mostly in individuals who already have heart disease. Stress also takes an emotional toll. While some stress may produce feelings of mild anxiety or frustration, prolonged stress can also lead to burnout, anxiety disorders, and depression. Chronic stress can have a serious impact on your health as well. If you experience chronic stress, your autonomic nervous system will be overactive, which is likely to damage your body. As I said to you before, that adrenaline and cortisol produce a blend of this adrenaline shot, and it intoxicates your body, making your all bodily functions overactive. Yes. So what are the conditions which are stress influenced? Diabetes, hair loss, heart disease, hyperthyroidism, your thyroid system, obesity, sexual dysfunctions, tooth and gum disease, and oculars. So these are the most stress affected conditions. Okay, good. So let's have a look together now at our lifestyles and what impacts, what lifestyle patterns we have now that provide us with more stress. So in the more so let's have a look at the at our lifestyle overall. In the modern scenario, a lifestyle typically reflects an individual's attitudes, values, or worldview. In the 21st century, the definition of lifestyle has changed. The whole look has changed a lot. What the lifestyle was about 20 years before has changed a lot when comparing with today's lifestyle. Lifestyle is the way a person or a group lives. It includes patterns of social relations, consumption, entertainment, and dress. In the modern scenario, we can basically classify the lifestyles of people around us. This may not be a strict and well-defined categories. There may be considerable overlap between many of them, and an individual may identify as belonging to or enjoying the activities associated with more than one group. In addition, many of these categories themselves contain subclasses and subcultures. So what I wanted to stop a little bit is about our lifestyle and stress as an integral part of our lifestyle. So some people seem to thrive. I have heard that some people seem to thrive and succeed under pressure. However, can you write in the chat box whether you whether you can kind of correspond to this one when you thrive under pressure? Is that true about you? Is that not true about you? Speaking about me, I sometimes thrive under pressure, but I get too tired after being over pressured, over stressed. I get really tired. Okay, so certain some people seem to thrive under pressure. Nobody wrote. Okay. However, over time, chronic stress with no downtime can overwhelm us all, leading to a decreased zest for life and eventually burnout. Certain lifestyles features can lead to an especially high risks for burnout. Classic high-risk stresses include the following. So let's have a look at the classic stresses that we have in our lifestyle. Too much work with little balance. It seems to me that everybody has heard about work-life balance, and now I'm going to talk about it. A life of consistent 80-hour work weeks with no downtime is a classic high-risk scenario for burnout. And schedules approaching that level of fullness can also be very draining. Although we all tend to have especially busy weeks, those who devote all their time to work and work-related activities and put other areas of their lives like relationships, hobbies, pastimes, and exercises on hold, put themselves at higher risk for burnout. It's not just the fact that it's not just the fact that work can be draining and stressful, but that the lifestyle is out of balance. Activities that relieve stress and sustain us emotionally and spiritually are reduced or eliminated in favor of more stress-inducing work. Such a schedule is also a burnout risk because as a person living such a busy lifestyle approaches a state of burnout, they are not able to easily get themselves back in balance with these stress-relieving activities. So, as I said, it's very important to maintain work-life balance because when you have too much stress during work, you don't have downtime. You don't have the time to emotionally offload, to have kind of time for leisure activities, time for relaxing. Good. No help or supportive resources. Taking on huge amounts of responsibilities that can't be delegated can also put people at higher levels of stress, increasing burnout risk. Having the feeling that if I take a day off, things will fall apart causes a generally elevated sense of stress. We all need support, we all need backup, and others we can offload responsibilities to if we need it. So we need always, if you take one day off, if you have a breather to switch off from work, to switch your mind from work, nothing will fall apart. I promise you. So sometimes we need either people, some linchpins, to offload our responsibilities and charges, or we need some day off. We need some breather to think about how stress can be managed. Okay, another one, too little social support. In addition to needing people who can help us with responsibilities, we need people to help us shoulder the emotional burdens in our lives. Having someone to talk to about what stresses us, someone to play with when we have free time, and someone to understand us when times are tough, and someone to supply new ideas when we are stumped are all important and necessary aspects of social support. Feeling isolated with our stress creates more stress and elevates our risk for burnout, whereas adequate social support can be a buffer, yeah, against it. So it's very important. We are humans are communicative creatures, and we always need someone to talk to. We always need some emotional harbor to speak your mind, to speak your mind off, to somehow enjoy the possibilities of sharing these thoughts with everybody. So it can help with coping with stress. Okay. Another point. No time for pastimes, no time for your favorite activities and hobbies. It seems to me you have heard those who work hard often tend to play hard, which helps sustain work-life balance. Having an outlet for enjoying life outside of work can help you feel alive and supply you with a mental and emotional break from what's stressing you. However, if your whole life consists of responsibility and work, and you don't have a creative outlet or regular outlet for good old fun, it's harder to sustain yourself through the stressful times in life. So always have time for some hobbies. Because as I said to you before, I feel really stressed when I don't have time for hobbies, which makes me feel stressed out. And usually I blame myself for not being able to go to the gym, to jog maybe, or to have some time uh, on a treadmill. So it does me like that. Okay, so too little sleep. People don't always realize the importance of this one, but if you don't get adequate sleep, you are less able to handle stress. And you are also less productive and suffer other consequences. When you get inadequate sleep on a regular basis, you put yourself into a state of chronic sleep deprivation and chronic stress and put yourself at a higher risk for burnout. So another one, it's obvious, that everybody needs to have some sleep rest. Otherwise, chronic stress can cause some insomnia, sleeplessness. So you need to fight against it. So an adequate sleep helps to cope with chronic stress every day. Too little time off. Part of living a balanced lifestyle is having regular times off. Taking a vacation at least once a year can help you get into a different situation, can help you to change the scenery and remind yourself why you are here, why you are living in this world, on this planet, and to feel yourself beyond your responsibilities at work. Vacations help you to get back in touch with yourself and discover new parts of yourself, as well as just sit, relax, and think of nothing. While this can also be accomplished with meditation and other activities, nothing does it quite so easily and enjoyable as a vacation. When you return, you're usually at least somewhat happy. You want to get back to work, you want to get back to your old life, and such times off can be good burnout prevention. If you haven't taken time off in quiet in a while, you are putting yourself at an increased risk for burnout. So, taking time off, having a breather, is a good way to let your hair down. So, change of scenery always helps people to maintain the health um, decreased environment, to live in a stress-free environment. And I wanted to present you some quotes to Margarita. It's true. I guess it's true about. Margarita told about someone's support is very important to me. It gives me strength. Oh yeah, really. Having emotional harbor, Garvin, harbor is a good way to offload and to release some stress. And some motivational quotes for you. I feel a little bit sleepy because of hot I don't sleep well, so sorry for being a little bit sleepy, but still I want to share with you all my thoughts about stress. Okay, so here are some quotes about stress reduction and stress resistance. Take rest. A field that has rested gives a bountiful crop. So it was said by Ovid. Give your stress wings and let it fly away. Give your stress wings and let it fly away. And one more. Stress is the trash of modern life. We all generate it, but if you don't dispose of it, properly, it will pile up and overtake your life. Stress is the trash of modern life. We all generate it, but if you don't dispose of it properly, it will pile up and overtake your life. It was said by Terry Gulliman. Yeah, so I like really these thoughts of him. Okay, so let's get stress resistance. Yeah. Oh my God. Stress friend. I will talk about it. I wanted. Oh, here. Okay. So I wanted to share with you about my way of dealing with stress. Can you please type in the chat box while I'm talking about this way to deal with the stress, to deal with the daily problems? Can you type your secrets of dealing with stress? So, as I said before, in the modern scenario of life, it's considered to be it's considered to be a very relevant phenomenon when your echo says to you, there are not enough hours in a day to get through all that I have to do throughout the day. And I noticed that I have faced this reality in my lifetime. We modern people always have a very draining and stressful, fast-paced lifestyles. And it's very difficult somehow to find this balance, to find, to maintain this healthy and harmonious lifestyle. Harmonious is the word that is important here. What do you think? What's harmony for you? Because when I asked myself what's harmony, I couldn't give the answer. I thought about balance, but having searched in the dictionary, I have found that harmony is not exactly the synonym to balance. So I was just like wondering that harmony is a spiritual stuff. If a person it's like the spiritual it's a spiritual way of coexisting of everything in collaboration with the spirit. If a person does more what he wants but less what he doesn't want, it will definitely lead to harmony. To achieve this harmony, a person should identify what his life look like. So to achieve and to complete the last step, what your life look like, you have to practice mindfulness. And when I have practiced mindfulness, I have seen a very good and beneficial results. So according to the modern research, mindfulness is a non-judgmental and peaceful state of mind when a person is not bothered by issues from past or future. It's a living moment. It's living moment now, seeing a whole landscape of things around you and not fixating, not thinking about irrelevant and unpleasant stuff that distract your mind from living a moment. Not thinking about your past mistakes, not thinking of your future problems, but living now, a moment, just enjoying the moment. It's generally acknowledged that mindfulness positively affects our mental faculty, and it's able to change the patterns of our mind. Modern people have a sort of we modern people have a sort of a tunnel vision. We look in one direction, but mindfulness provides looking from different perspective. When you look in one perspective, there is a very high possibility of failing in the future, because you look back, you look at some problems in the future, and consequently you can fail in your present moment. Yeah. So mindfulness provides people with focus on the present moment, which will enhance the possibility of success in the future, and which will enhance the productivity and efficiency now, at the moment. For example, when a person is toying with the idea of doing something or not, he or she starts ruminating about possible mistakes, expecting some results in the future, which makes the person puzzled at the moment. He won't be productive, and sure, his plans, and sure, he won't be productive during completing the plans now. That will lead to despair, will lead to some failure and stress escalation after all. Another issue that should be taken into consideration is stress reduction, yeah, that we talked with you. It's scientifically proved that mindfulness practice is able to reduce everyday stress. Our fast hustle and bustle of our daily life creates regular stress, and it leads to chronic stress. That's why a crucial factor is people's succumbing to the pressure and ending up getting stuck in this spiral of chronic stress. So a very important stuff is to get out of this vicious spiral of chronic stress. For me, the crucial factor to avoid this chronic stress and to get out of the vicious circle of stress through emotional and spiritual sustaining myself. For me, 40-minute or even 20-minute long mindfulness meditation, it's not meditation, because we don't know why we do this meditation, but mindfulness can help us to sustain this spiritual state of ours. It enhances the quality. Breathing sessions and mindfulness practices enhances the quality of mental processes. It can be not only just sitting and thinking about now. It can be everywhere. It can be you can, for example, you can drink tea, practice mindfulness, pour water in the glass, and think about, oh wow, it's interesting how it pours. After that, look at the color, identify the color of the tea or water or something, what the process looks like. After that, when you drink, don't swallow it first. Think about the flavor. Hold it for a minute and think about the flavor, the taste of the tea. After that, you swallow, and then focus on the feeling that you swallowed the tea. So focusing on all your body sensations, on all your body feelings, can help you to practice mindfulness. So when you eat your sweet candy, when opening unwrapping the candy, think about how the sound, think about the color, the texture in your mouth, the feeling, the smell, the taste of it, and it will help to practice mindfulness. Just identify the details of the things around you. So it will help you to practice mindfulness. So while doing this, it will help you to avoid intrusive botherings, intrusive thoughts about some issues, and it will help you to live the moment. Step by step, you will learn how to tame unnecessary broodings and put your thoughts in order. It all came from Buddhist monks who practice mindfulness, and they think that we are living in a we are having a monkey mind. When you climb from one tree, jump to another tree, and jump to another tree, and to another tree, and like it's a vicious circle. And mindfulness keeps you on one place. Right now, you are here, you are living the moment. Yeah. So in conclusion, I would like to tell you that it's very important to practice mindfulness, and fulfilling this balance in life and harmony during our rapid and busy lifestyle is simply easy. Just start doing that. Yes, mindfulness practices can help you. Regular trainings of mindfulness can help you to enhance your control over your thoughts, control over your thinking. It will enhance your problem solving abilities. It will increase your brain efficiency, mental faculty, and finally, you will find the desirable harmony in your life. So this is my idea about this stuff. So what I wanted you to do, yeah, it's not stress that kills you, it's our reaction to it. What I also want to tell you about the positive stress. For me, always appreciate the positive and the positive stress, because positive stress, like acute stress, helps you in longevity, to achieve longevity. It makes you resistant. It makes you resistant to various kinds of minor diseases. It boosts your immune system a little bit, enhances metabolism, and makes you stronger. So make stress your friend, because you can't avoid stress. We are not stress averse society. We can't avoid it simply, but we can make it our friend. We are not living in the animal kingdom, and we don't have monotonous and monotonous life. So we can make up our stress as a friend, which will help us. So what I wanted to tell you and ask you to do, I will send you now the link to the Google folder, and you are going to make your own guide. Just a second, you are a Friday group. You are going to conduct and to make your own guide, like bloggers usually do guides, make guides, sorry. I will send the link. Okay, Margarita, yeah, well done. 5-10 minutes a day in hum, but unfortunately I can't always hear. Okay, well done. Control your stress. Wow. Well, thanks a lot. So you go to this folder and create your own guide to cope with stress, secrets of how to cope with stress for stress management. It can be a video, it can be a social media post, it can be an Instagram stories, but just make screenshots. It can be a PowerPoint presentation. It can be maybe some combination and composition of photos, like that. And send your guide to cope with stress in this folder under your name and surname. Okay? I will duplicate this link into your group chat on the platform, and the deadline is the next week. Okay? I'm waiting for your interesting guides. Thanks for being with me today. Have a nice weekend and see you next week. Bye bye.